Good morning, fam. It's your girl, Miss Diva Trucker. I'm coming to you today because right now, as all of you know, good morning, Francis. As all of you know, there is a Category 5 hurricane out there in the water that's headed over to Florida. And I don't know if any of y'all been through a hurricane before, but I want to make sure that all you drivers out there's going to be a lot of you that is going to be requested to go down to Florida to help with bringing wood down there right now. Flatbed drivers. There is an unlimited supply down there to go down to Florida to bring supplies, okay? So with that being said, you know when you go down to Florida, there is not going to be a lot of accessible supplies that you can be able to get, okay? So before you go down there, make sure you get these things for your truck. Make sure you have plenty of water to drink. Make sure you let your family know that you're going to be traveling in the area of Florida, okay? Also, you may have to stay down there a couple of days to help out in the disaster relief, okay? So make sure you keep yourself safe. What we want to do is, if you have a load that's going towards Florida, to mark yourself safe. Make sure that people know where you are. This is going to be a bad hurricane. Do not fool yourself, okay? This is going to be worse than Hurricane Harvey, okay? Right now, if you ever been through Hurricane Katrina, I'm from Biloxi, Mississippi, okay? And when Hurricane Katrina came through, the water was over my house, okay? So I live right down the street from the Boulevard. The water was over my house. There was nothing left. You cannot get in or out the city. The roads will be closed, okay? You will not be able to purchase fuel at all. So it's easier to get yourself prepared now. If you have family that lives in Florida, make sure you call them, let them know to get out. If they don't have a way to get out, try to find some kind of preparation to move them to another location more inward. A lot of deaths happened in Hurricane Katrina because people was not able to get out. The buses stopped running, all transportation stopped running. They had to stay there, and a lot of people died through all that, okay? So, and I don't know if y'all was truck drivers through Hurricane Katrina, but if you was a truck driver through Hurricane Katrina, there was a time that they had to maybe put people on the back of their trailers to get them out of danger, to get them out the flood, okay? This is really serious. We do not want to lose any drivers or anybody through this disaster. It's coming, it's here, it's coming across the islands right now as we speak. And it's not something to play with. So drivers, if you have a family in Florida, down there in that Fort Lauderdale, that Miami area, get them out of there. It's better to be safe than sorry, okay? Because once that hurricane hits, everything shuts down. You're not going to be able to call for help. You're not going to be able to call the police. You're not going to be able to call nobody. Nobody is going to come and get you, okay? So right now, before this tragic storm hits the coast, y'all need to make sure that your family is out of there, that you protect them in any way possible. A lot of y'all live in that area and you have family in that area. Go ahead and try to get them into another location, okay? It's better safe than sorry. One thing we do know is that it is coming to Florida. Okay, it's going down the bottom of Florida. So if you're in that area, there's going to be a lot of drivers that are dispatched right now going down to Florida to bring, especially flatbed drivers. Okay, flatbed drivers are going to be down there taking equipment. They're going to be down there taking boards. They're going to be down there taking all the emergency supplies. Okay, so before you go down there in that area, it may be sunny and nice here, but before you go down there in that area, you must know that there is not going to be any supplies down there for you. Right now, they are emptying out the stores. So who is going to be able to fill those stores? We are. We as drivers, we're going to be first responders down there, okay? So we're going to have a very important role in this disaster, okay? Because that's what it is. It's going to be a disaster. This is not going to be nothing nice. If you've been through Hurricane Katrina, you know exactly what you're going to be going through, okay? Do not put yourself in a situation to go through that again. We want to make sure that all of y'all are safe. So what I'm going to be doing is when this storm is going across Florida, drivers, we're going to go live, okay? We're going to go live. If you're down there in that area and you find yourself in a situation, reach out. You know, Facebook is a great way of contact. But if you know, like I know, that when that storm hits, you're not going to have phone signal. You're not going to be able to make a phone call, okay? So you're not going to be able to get the word out if something happens. So before that hurricane hits, when you see it's getting bad, if you are located in that area, let somebody know. Make sure your job is aware where you are. Make sure your family is aware of where you are. If you are on Facebook, make sure people know where you are, okay? Make sure you get your water. Make sure you stack up on your food, canned foods. Fortunately, since we have a truck, some of y'all may have microwaves and refrigerators already in your truck. So the things that you can have in a truck is not so limited, but you want to get those things before you get down there to Florida. Y'all, this is something that we all need to take serious, okay? Like I showed a video on my YouTube channel last week about a driver getting rescued out of their truck, and the water was all the way up above the window in their truck, okay? Sometimes these storms come in so fast that you're caught off guard and you're not prepared. If you see the water rising, do not go in that area, okay? Because that water will rise fast, and a lot of the damage is going to come, and not because of the winds and things like that. It's going to be the water. The water is going to be what kills people. Okay, that water comes up so fast. Kev says, I'm here in Florida, hometown now, about to evacuate now, whether it's hits or not. Don't take any chances, right? Kev, how is it down there in Florida right now? Are people preparing, leaving out of that area? What about the grocery stores and, things like that? How is it down there right now? But it's not that this storm is not coming. This storm is coming, y'all. If you have family, if you have loved ones in that area, now is the time to check on them. Yeah, Sherry, the wind is going to be bad right now. So, right, Rhonda, it's nothing in the stores, okay? So we may be in a safe area right now, but we may be called to go down to Florida, because the only way these things are going to be replaced is us going down there, okay? So be prepared. Get your supplies now. Make sure y'all keep a full tank of fuel in your truck, because you may be idling or you may be in a place for a long period of time, okay? That's right. In Florida, Sherry, you're right. The Petros, the TAs, they're going to be running out of fuel, okay? So, we could keep $400 worth of fuel in our truck. So go ahead, pre-fuel for not just for your load, but put extra fuel in your truck. You always want to be safe than sorry, okay? But make sure that you prepare yourself for what's going to happen. But we're talking about the weekend. So right now it's Wednesday. People still got time to prepare. The store, Kev say right now the stores are empty. If you do not have transportation to get out that area, call. Right now he said it's already hard to get Greyhound. It's already hard to get a flight out of the area. Y'all, this is coming to Florida. Okay, there's no ifs or buts about it. Is coming to Florida. Okay, so if you know people down there that do not have transportation, make sure they get to some sort of shelter. If you can get them, like Kev say, a bus ticket, a plane ticket, something that they can get out of that area before everything happens. Because once those winds and once it meets landfall, everything is going to shut down. Your emergency system, your telephones, everything is going to be shut down. So now is the time that you need to be calling, checking on your families. Make sure that they are out of that area, okay? If you got loads going down there, you know what's coming. Prepare yourself. Also, if you can, be on Facebook. If you find that you're in a situation, go live on Facebook to let people know where you are at, okay? But it is coming. So I just wanted to come and give y'all an update of we're going to be watching this storm. Right now, we don't know if it's going to enter the Gulf and come our way, or if it's going to go up the East Coast. But it has to go somewhere. So either we need to be prepared on both sides. So if you're living on the Gulf Coast, on the East, if you're living on the East Coast, you need to prepare yourself. If you're living in the Gulf, you need to also prepare yourself as well, okay? Now is the time to start preparing for a hurricane disaster, because that's what it's going to be. A lot of us drivers, if you're new to driving, or you're just entering the being a truck driver, you may be called out to go down to some of these areas, okay? It is going to be a lot of traffic. There's not going to be any place. Tanker drivers, y'all going to be called down there to bring fuel. Y'all going to be called out as well. Refrigerated dry vans, y'all also dry vans, flatbeds, they're going to be called to bring wood to start boarding up your the houses and businesses and things like that, okay? So what I wanted to tell y'all this morning is to please prepare. Make sure that your family is safe. If you have family in Florida, check on them. Make sure that they're able to get out. Drivers, prepare yourself, because this week and next week is going to be a long week for us. Make sure you have water, supplies, first aid equipment, all kinds of stuff that if you're called to be a first responder, that you'll be able to do that, okay? But right now, we do see that storm is a Category 5, okay? I think Katrina was a Category 5 as well. I lived in Pensacola, Florida at the time that Katrina hit. And all the way from Pensacola over there to past New Orleans, things like that, everything was devastated. It actually took out a bridge and on I-10 that you could not even cross to go over into New Orleans from Slidell, okay? So the help relief is going to be slow, okay? You're going to be wanting help in that area, and it's not going to happen as fast as you expect. Right now, FEMA is hiring inspectors, they're hiring people, they're hiring temporary people to go down there and help during the disaster. So if you don't have a job right now, I think that they are waiving all the background and all the extra stuff that they make you do to be a FEMA aide, okay? So during emergency situations, FEMA has what they call emergency aid people, okay? So these are people that they will put in FEMA just to handle a hurricane. Okay, so those are some things that you may be able to do. Check and see where your shelters are. If you're not able to get out that area, make sure that you're able to check and know where it is that you can seek shelter. I know y'all in Florida done been through hurricanes, so y'all know how to prepare for this. But a lot of us, this is what caught us in Katrina, okay? We was not prepared. We was not prepared. People in New Orleans, a hurricane, we was not prepared for that magnitude of a hurricane, okay? No felonies for FEMA is about the only qualification. Yeah, you have to go through a background and all kinds of stuff with FEMA to get certified, but they are hiring and they are needing people to help out there in that area, and they will put you down there until everything is all over with, okay? Let's see. Do any of y'all have any family down there? What does your family do? Kevin is saying there's already no water, no milk or bread at the store, okay? So, if y'all are in that area, you're going around, just check on your people. Just check and make sure that everybody is okay, that you know, okay? If you have people that's on your Facebook page that live down in that area, it's going to be a category 7. Michelle says, Rhonda, you're in Central Florida. You may see some sort of it like when Hurricane Katrina. Y'all, I am pouring down sweat. I'm back in my truck, okay? But the thing is, my air conditioner is not working, okay? So go figure. So I got to get back to the yard for them to fix my APU and my air conditioner because it's not working. But I just wanted to come to you this morning and let y'all know, y'all, this is a serious, dangerous hurricane, okay? People will lose lives in hurricanes like this. And the only thing that you can do to help your situation is to prepare and get yourself out of there. I mean, get out of there until it's over with. The thing, let's see, when is it supposed to touch down, Sherry? It's supposed to touch down sometime this week. In a couple of days, it's going to be in Florida, okay? But after that, we really don't know where it's going. So we got to prepare on both ends. They have a tracking that it may turn, because the hurricanes do turn and go up the east side. But either way, it's going to be bad because depending on what side you're on, could be the most damaging. But as you know, with other hurricanes, I'm from the Gulf Coast. I know how these hurricanes go. Sometimes they'll get out there in the Gulf and they'll sit there for a while. And sometimes you'll think it's going to Texas and it's not going to Texas. It'll end up turning around, going back to Florida. It'll end up going up the Gulf Coast some kind of way. So you just have to be prepared and don't wait to the last minute to be able to get your family out of there and for you to be safe, okay? Those shelters are nothing to play with. As y'all know, in Hurricane Katrina, people was getting raped at shelters. People was dying out there. So if you got elderly, if you got a grandmother, if you got an auntie, if you got a mother that is elderly down there in Florida, make sure that you are down there getting them out that situation, or you have a way to get them out that situation, okay? So we want to stay in contact with our drivers out here to make sure that y'all okay, because a lot of y'all are going to get ready to be dispatched to Florida, and y'all have never been through a hurricane, okay? This is no joke. Be prepared for the traffic. Be prepared for what you're going to see down there, because if you've never seen devastation and you're from right now, also we got another disaster is going on the West Coast. I don't know if y'all heard of those fires out there, okay? Out there, I think it's out there. Is it in Utah or in the Gorge or something? Right now they're dealing with some fires that are out there, okay? So if you've never been through a hurricane disaster relief and you get dispatched down there to Florida, prepare yourself, okay? There may not be no fuel around for you to stop at the TA and get you some fuel. There may not be running water for you to take a shower. These things will shut down. There's no police. There's no ambulance. A lot of times you are on your own when you're going through a disaster, okay? And it really doesn't, Washington, Oregon, and California is burning bad, okay? So you got fires on the West Coast and you got a major hurricane on the East Coast, okay? So these things are going on right now, and what I wanted to let y'all know as drivers is to be safe. We don't need to lose anybody during a time of disaster. Whatever it is that we could prevent, okay, we want to do that now. And if you're not from these areas, if you're not from the area, prepare yourself. I've been through a hurricane. I've been through Hurricane Katrina, and it is no joke. People die, okay? Your truck will not be able to sustain the winds and the water, okay? So keep yourself safe. All right. Make sure you're safe. If it's not safe for you to do so, do not proceed. Okay. Just like that, it was a little storm in Houston that flooded. Water was almost over to the truck, and there was not anything that we could do. It came in so fast, and the water just started rising, and we were stuck, okay? Try not to put yourself in that situation. Try not to get down there in a situation that you cannot get out of. Alert your family members right now that you got a load that's going down to Florida, okay? Keep in touch with them at all times. We're going to try to come back. We're going to try to come back later on when it does hit Florida. And I want this to be an outlet for you so that if something is going on and you need some kind of assistance, maybe we could try to get that for you, or just to make sure that you're safe. But I do know that if this hurricane goes to Florida, like they say it is, with a Category 5, you will not have phone service, okay? You will not be able to, Anthony, put the locator on your phone. Y'all got any other suggestions that drivers can do? Some of y'all, 180 miles per hour winds cannot be survived, okay? So drivers, y'all are going down there. Flatbed drivers, y'all are going down there. They're doing convoys right now going down to Florida, okay? So you may get loads on the low board that is going to pay you a lot of money to go down there, okay? Don't risk your life if you don't have to, okay? If you got people there, you want to go down there and help, there's no problem with that, but make sure that you are prepared so that you don't become the tragedy as well, okay? So you don't end up becoming the victim. Anthony says, stock your food with plenty of food and water. Has anybody been through any storm like this? Was y'all a truck driver during Katrina? Was y'all, I know some of y'all was dispatched down there to Houston. I met a lot of drivers that was on their way down to Houston. Even the hotels are saying get out, so you can't even book a room down there. So right now, y'all, it is the time to leave Florida. It's time to get out of that bottom area and start moving. You do not want to be caught in that traffic. You do not want to be caught without fuel. If you need fuel and you're in that area, fuel up now. But I know that they are running out, okay? A lot of y'all from the coast, so you know that you know how this goes, okay? But some of y'all may not be from the Florida area or the Gulf Coast where you've been through a hurricane before. This is not anything to play with, okay? The roads will be bad. The roads will be tore up. The roofs are going to be flying off. Everything is going to be happening down there. And the only thing that you can do is, just prepare yourself to make sure that you're not caught up in this storm, okay? But we are going to be what is called first responders out there, because we are the ones that are going to have to get that food replenished down there in Florida. We're going to have to help with the rebuilding. We're going to be busy as I don't know what. We're already taking care as drivers, already taking care of putting supplies back into Houston. Now we got to deal with something over here in Florida, okay? So just be prepared. If you're picking those loads off the load board, make sure you know where you are going, okay? IKEA said her load is going. IKEA, please, I cannot stress to you enough, baby girl, please be safe. Please be safe out there, okay? Because you have no idea what you're getting ready to go through, okay? This is going to, if you ever been through a hurricane, this is life-changing for you, okay? There are people that's been through Hurricane Katrina that have not been the same since, okay? Their lives have not been the same since, okay? So the things that you can do is to prepare yourself. Make sure you got water. Make sure you got food. Make sure that you got plenty of fuel in your truck. Make sure that you have a family. Make sure your family knows where you are at all times, okay? Because it may be some time. Hurricane Katrina, I want to tell y'all, Hurricane Katrina, my kids was younger, and they was living with their dad, okay? And they was in Gulfport, Mississippi, and I was in Pensacola, okay? And I thought they had got out for the hurricane. Or they had stayed for the hurricane, and I wasn't sure. So once the hurricane was over, I drove over to Gulfport, Mississippi, to where they was living, and there was nothing there. And y'all, that made me panic for a whole week, okay? Because I didn't know where my kids was. I didn't know if they was okay or if they wasn't. Luckily, my ex-husband had took them up with some other family, okay? But to not be able to hear from your children, to not be able to hear from your spouse, to not be able to hear from your loved ones for over a week is going to be heart-wrenching, okay? Until you know that they are okay. So what you can do is check on them now. Make sure that they have a plan to get out and to be safe. No matter if it's a shelter, make sure you tell them if they lose signal, if they don't have phone signal, to contact you once they do get that phone signal back. But before this thing hits, you need to make sure that they're in a safe location, okay? So that's the only thing that I wanted to come and bring to y'all this morning. I'm on my way to the yard to get this air condition fixed in my truck. And then I'm going down to meet my husband in Mississippi. So I'll be off for a couple of days. So I will be able to I won't be driving. I will be able to do live feeds down in Tunica. And so we could just make sure that we check on these drivers, who's going down there, who's coming out of there, make sure that you're in a good situation. And if we need to be able to get you some sort of help or some sort of assistance, we'll be able to do that, okay? But make sure we stay in contact with each other. Turn your phone locators on. Okay, make sure your phone location is on so people can know where you are. Okay, but yeah, I'm up here at one of my spots, and like Sherry says, please stay safe. Okay, so that's all I wanted to come and tell y'all this morning. Take your time out there and inbox me or whatever. If you're going through that storm down there, you find yourself in a situation, let us know, okay? So we could be right there with you, maybe trying to help you out of that, okay? But this will happen. This is going to happen. We only got a couple of days before it hits the United States. So take this storm very seriously. You do not want your loved ones out here losing their life. And like Kev says, he's down there. All right, Kev, are you staying through the hurricane or what are you doing? But like he says, he's down there. So right now it hasn't even hit yet and there's no supplies, okay? So make sure y'all do that. I will talk to y'all later. Peace, love, joy, and happiness. And y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye.